Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. Like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 2. Uh, it's called Allegation Nation. It started off where it left off last episode, where Karen, Giselle, and Robin were addressing Mia about her social media post about her sea scare and stuff like that. And so Candiace was over there talking to Skylar and Wendy, and they were all talking. And then somebody asked Candiace, "Are you gonna go over there?" Candiace look, "Oh no, I'm not gonna go over there with Giselle and them. I'm over here with their friends." And so they got to talking. And they got to talking so loud that Mia say, "Why would she want to lie or something? Why would she want to lie about something like that?" She was only going by what the doctor said, and the doctor told her that she should go to John Hopkins to get more tests. And she was saying she was not doing that for anybody's attention or anything like that. And so her friend Jackie interjected and said, "Why would she want to do something like that? Why would she want to have her family and friends scared like that if it wasn't true?" And then Wendy chimed in, and I guess they sent Wendy over. Wendy said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then Karen spoke up and said, we were telling." She said, "Well, Giselle had some concerns about Mia's sea scare, what she posted online." And then Wendy said, "Well, I had some kind of questions too, and stuff like that." And so Giselle said, "Karen, you had some questions too." And Karen said, "No." Karen said, "No. I wouldn't have confronted her here like that. I would have took her to the side and asked what was going on and what was going on." And then Wendy said in confessional, "I wouldn't have did that too." And then so that's when Jacqueline, Mia's friend, chimed in and said all the stuff that Mia went through. She went through the stuff with Mia. She was the one. Mia was not gonna be faking anything for attention. And then Wendy said, "Hello, hello, who is this? Who is this?" And Karen said, "Oh, this is Mia's friend Jackie." She said, "Oh, well, I really know who she was. I wondered why she was speaking." And then so Candice said in her confessional, "I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't believe it either. I thought she was just saying something to be saying something and stuff like that." And next thing you know, Sharice walked in, and Sharice said, "What's going on?" And they said, we were just having a little chat with Mia. We were just having a chat with Mia." And then Clarice hugged Karen and said, "Well, it's nice to see you. Glad to see you, Karen." Karen said, "I'm glad to see you too." And then she said, "Well, Karen, maybe we can get together for lunch one day and talk." Karen said, "Well, okay, I'll see. I'll set up later." And the next thing you know, walked in. Katie walked in. I said, "Oh, there's Katie." So Karen greeted Katie, and everybody came over there. And then Giselle said, "Katie," she said, "Katie, you know that we played a game, and Ray said that if anybody out of the group that he want to be with beside Karen, he said you. Ray got a crush on you." Next thing I know, Candy, I'm not Candy. When next thing I know, Katie was running over there saying, "Oh, how you doing, Ray? How you doing, Ray?" She gave Ray a hug. She said, "I heard that I'm your crush." She gave Ray a hug, and she was rubbing on Ray's butt and feeling on Ray's butt, and Ray was going crazy. Kiki, he and G was looking all kind of funny, and Mia was looking all kind of funny. And then Giselle said, "Well, I know he had a crush on her, but we already got one person in the group that's really touchy like that. We don't need two. We don't need Katie to be doing that." Next thing you know, somebody mentioned it to Karen. Karen jumped up and came up over there and said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And she said, well, I heard your husband had a crush on me. She said, he do got a crush on me. And then Karen came over there and said, Ray, you better be good. Ray told me, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I just gave her a hug. And she got the rubber on my booty and stuff. And she said, you need to stop laughing. You need to stop laughing. Ray sure was laughing and Kiki him. But Ray was having himself a good time with Katie, with Katie and her crazy self and stuff like that. And Karen, a little jealousy, it was rising up and stuff like that. So Karen was making sure that that Katie didn't have nothing to do with it. They had nothing to do with Ray and stuff with her child. And so she got Katie out the way. And then next thing you know, Karen made some kind of speech. And then after she made that speech, it switched to the next scene. And the next scene was, oh, let me get some water. I'm back. Let's switch to the next scene where Robin in the car driving the kids to school, and she asked her boys how are their grades, and one of her sons said he made all B's, and the other one said he made A's and B's, and then it switched to the next scene. The next scene was with Wendy also taking her kids to school, getting her kids ready to school, and she was telling the boys they need to go ahead on and eat breakfast and make their breakfast. And he was saying, when you do it, she said, now, y'all got to get in the habit of doing stuff y'all own stuff. Y'all got to learn how to be independent men. Y'all can't be dependent on women all the time. Then switch to the next scene, and the next scene is where Karen went to visit a doctor, and her doctor was checking up on her breast plant, her breast implant or breast reduction or whatever you want to call it, to making sure that everything was all right. And he said he checked Karen out and everything seemed to be all right. And she said because she's a woman of a particular age, he was kind of concerned about her having that type of surgery. But he said everything is good and it's all good. She said, yes, all good. And I'm glad everything is good and I'll see you later. Then it switched to the next scene where Candiace was talking to her sister at her house, and Candiace explained that her and her sister was still in the wig business, and her mother found her sister a nice house, but what it is, the house is not ready, and I don't know if they're building up from the ground up, but the house is not ready. And Candiace said that her sister is staying with her temporarily with her and Chris, and she was telling her that that she wants to have a baby, and so her sister was saying, well, what steps are you doing to have a baby? She told her sister that she had froze her eggs and stuff like this. Oh, you can freeze your eggs, you take it later. And she said, yeah, it's hard for her and Chris to have time together because Chris worked so hard. He's been working. When he's off, she's working, and when she's off, he's working. And she said, have you gotten used to Chris working full time now? Candice said, not yet, not yet. I haven't got used to it yet. And she said, well, what y'all gonna do? She said, yeah, I just want Chris to spend some time with myself. I ain't gonna say the word she said. And she said, with my black self. And then so and then so her sister said, well, you're gonna have to make time for that. She said, well, it's just Christian schedule. And she said, with all the stuff I'm doing, with all the stuff I'm doing with my music. And then she said, well, didn't you finish school? Didn't you already do that? She said, yeah, I finished school, and with all the stuff I'm doing with my music and all the other stuff, she said, it's just kind of hard for me and Chris to make time together. And then it switched to the next scene. And it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was with Giselle meeting up with Robin for lunch. And so Giselle said, what's going on with you, Robin? And Robin said, you know what's going on with me. She said, what? She said, I got a bone to pick with you, Giselle. Giselle said, what bone you got to pick with me? She said, you know what bone I got to pick with you. Next thing you know, production showed where Giselle had told everybody at the Spring Awakening that Robin's name was the only name on the house. And Robin said the reason why she had to do that because they had a foreclosure on one of their houses a long time ago, and Juan's credit was bad. So if she would have put Juan's name on there, they would have had to pay taxes for some kind of tax purposes. And so she said, "Oh, you right, Robin. I shouldn't have said that. But the way Ashley was talking about what you call making what you I call getting a house on the LLC, and I'm just saying, if you're getting a divorce, you're not supposed to be making a house on the LLC." And then Robin say, "Well, Giselle, what if I tell all your business?" And Giselle say, "No, no, don't tell all my business. I would want you to do that." She said, "That's why I told you not to do that. You could have handled that situation a little bit better than that." And then so Robin say, "You know what? Right after the right on the party thing, Ashley pulled me to the side and said she had something very important to talk to me about." And then just said, "What did she tell you?" She told me that Chris slid into her DMs, and she didn't think that was right. She thought Candiace should know about it, and she was saying, "Yeah, I don't think a married man should be slipping in somebody's DMs." And then Robin said, "Well, Chris is not. Chris ain't no man like that. Chris is our friend. Chris think we are friends. We've been over to their house, Giselle, and Chris cooked for us and stuff. I don't think it was nothing inappropriate or suspect for on Chris." Giselle said, "Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Ooh, I need some more water." And the next scene, Ashley mentions about she was in this baby mama group, and she met this lady named Deborah, and her and Deborah came over. So she was cleaning up around, and Deborah knocked on the door, and Ashley opened the door for Deborah, and she was saying, "Nice to meet you, nice to meet you. How things going with you and your divorce?" She said, "It's kind of rough on me, Deborah, a little bit rough on me." And she said, well, "What are you thinking about doing more?" She said, "Now me and Michael are still living together." She said, "Y'all still living together, staying together?" She said, "Yeah, we living together. We live in separate parts of the house, and we're thinking of buying a LLC together with another big house for me and the boys." And then Deborah said, "Do you think that's wise, Ashley?" She said, "Well, Michael said it's going to be on the LLC." She said, "But I'm just saying, do you think it's wise?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, how you been doing?" She said, "I've been doing a lot of soul searching and thinking, and I also been doing a lot of TikTok dances and stuff." Say, "Oh yeah, I saw your TikTok dances and stuff on the stuff." And she said, "I'm thinking about having a dance class for the girls." And she said, "For the girls," she said, "Yeah." She said, "You told me about some problems you had with some of the girls. Are you willing to invite all of the girls?" She said, "Yeah, I'm gonna invite all the girls." She said, "Okay, Ashley." And then next thing you know, it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was Ray and Karen at their house, and they were talking, and Ray asked Karen how did her doctor's appointment went, and Karen said her doctor's appointment went good. A doctor said you know her breast looked good, the healing from the surgery and stuff looked good, everything looked good, and Karen was saying that Ray didn't want her to do it, and she said, "Ray, when I did it when I was in my 30s, you was all giggly eyed and going all crazy and stuff." And Ray said, "I didn't want you to do it then, but I couldn't stop you. You had your own stuff." She said, "Well, if something happened like that, and our daughter wants to get a lift or something, I'll advise her." He said, "No, you shouldn't advise our daughter to get nothing like that." She said, "I'm just saying if she want to do it on her own." And Ray said, "No, she shouldn't do it at all." She said, "Ray, why you having such a big conflict about that?" And when she said, "You didn't say that long years ago." He said, "But I didn't want you to do it long years ago. I didn't want you to do it now. And I sure don't want you telling my daughter how to do that. Women shouldn't be doing all that stuff." And then Karen looked kind of funny. And then the next thing you know, it switched to the next scene. And the next scene was with Ashley and Candiace, and they met up for lunch, and they were talking, and Candiace and Ashley said, "Candiace, I know we just got back on good terms and stuff, and I was kind of scared to approach you with this." And she said, "What is it? I want to tell you something. It was one night Chris had slid into my DMs and telling me that I should have came on to the restaurant, and I didn't think that was right because I thought you should know about it. I thought you should know about it." And then Candiace said in her confession, "I'm gonna give her one pass. I'm gonna give Ashley one pass." And she said Ashley might not know that that Chris was the general manager of Rooftop. She said, no, I don't think none of you said Chris is the general manager of Rooftop. And he said by him being a general manager, he tried to rebrand the restaurant and stuff. So he looked at you as a friend, and by you being on TikTok and stuff like that, and you was already up there. Now he probably assumed that you were going to stop by with your friends and give the restaurants a business. She said, well, I was just saying that it didn't look right to me. It looked inappropriate to me, and I didn't want you thinking nothing strange or funny. And Candiace said, no, I know, no, I wouldn't think nothing strange or funny like that, Candiace. And then next thing you know, it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was Candiace. The next scene was Mia and G having lunch at the restaurant, and then G asked Mia how she was, and Mia told G how Giselle and how Giselle and Robin and even Karen thought that she was faking it for attention. She said not so much Karen, but it was mostly Giselle and Robin. And I told him, why would I want to fake something like that? Why would I want to get my friend up like that? He said, I don't know what's going on with them ladies. Next thing you know, Jacqueline walked in, and then she said, what's going on with y'all? And we having a good time. We went to sit down, and then so Mia said in her confessional that Jacqueline is kind of like G's second wife. But then he said, oh, G's second wife, what you mean? Have they had any shit? No, they ain't had no relations, nothing like that. But it's like if I'm not around, G's gonna talk to her and stuff. And so she told Mia that she didn't like what happened at the spring party about how the girls were coming at her. And Mia said, yeah, most of Giselle talking about I was faking her attention. She said, I didn't understand them talking about you faking her attention. Why would you want to fake that? That's why I told them I've been through the struggles with you. I was helping you going through stuff. That's why I spoke up. She said, I don't know what they want to do. She said, you know what? When somebody show me their true colors, I don't have nothing to do with them no more. And she said, do you know that Giselle tried to email me and text me and tell me that she was sorry for what she said at the spring awakening, but I didn't return her call. I don't return people's calls who show me their true colors. And Jacqueline said, oh yeah. And let me stop it. I need some water. And then it switched to the next scene where Ashley was at the dance studio and she met the manager and she told the manager she liked the cupcakes and the wine and everything looked good. Then Giselle showed up, and then after that, Robin showed up, and then Ashley told Robin and Giselle that Karen had texted and told her she had 102 fever and she wasn't able to come. And then Giselle said, you think Karen ain't coming because you invited Sharice, Robin? She said, no, I don't think that. And then Ashley said, what's going on between them two, between Clarice and Robin? And then Giselle said in her confessional that Karen, that Sharice got some stuff on Karen, and that's why Karen don't want her to come. And so they went to the dance studio, and then the instructor Jasmine showed up, and she welcomed the girls, she hugged the girls, and they all got to dancing. And Giselle told me, I really got this. I look like Beyonce. I said, oh, no, you don't, Giselle. Giselle and Robin was the worst dancers. And somebody said, ooh, Mia got it. And Jasmine said, oh, yeah, you catching on real fast. And they were saying, till they told Jasmine that Mia was already a dancer. She knew how to dance. She said, oh, yeah, I see she's a good dancer. And then after the dance class, everybody was getting ready to leave and stuff like that. And Whitney talking about she really liked that dance. She really into that dance. And so they was getting ready to leave. And so Giselle said, Candiace, could me and you have a private conversation, or we need to talk separately? She said, huh? What about? What did I do now? What did I do now? And Giselle said, nah, you didn't do nothing. She said, what it is, I want to tell you about Chris. She said, what about Chris? She said, Chris had slid into Ashley's DM. She said, and what? And so? And she said, and he also made me feel uncomfortable. She said, what do you mean he made you feel uncomfortable? She said, at the reunion, remember, Chris had asked me he wanted to talk to me separately, and I said, yeah, okay. And then when I went to talk to him, he knew that Calvin wasn't in the room with me, and I felt uncomfortable going into a room with a married man, and by since he not being in that room with me, I really didn't want to be in no bedroom with no married men and stuff like that. And then Candiace say, she said, Candiace, I thought you should know this. She said, well, I already knew about the stuff with Ashley and all the other stuff, but like I'm saying, he made me feel, she said, oh, he made you feel uncomfortable. She said, did he do anything to you? Did he touch you? Did he? No, he didn't do anything. Did he say anything appropriate to you? No, he didn't say anything appropriate to me. And then Candiace say, we're not going through this. We're not going through this. Eric, Eric. She was hollering Eric, and then Eric came out and said, Eric, we're not going through this stuff. She said, we already had somebody, Michael Darby. He was the one that was the abused. He was the one that was fondling people and doing all kind of crazy stuff and doing the A stuff and stuff. Chris is not like that. We're not going through this. We're not going through this. Eric didn't say too much of nothing. And then they had the letters going down at the thing. Giselle got hopped onto this story because of what Ashley said, and Ashley always been what is. Ashley always been a messy, stirred person, but Giselle just egged it on. She wanted to make that girl mad and stuff like that, and Giselle was wrong for that. This is A. Western. That ain't even tested like a TI is. I am out.